The latest nuclear tests conducted by North Korea has also brought Iran back into the spotlight. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry has said that the latest North Korean test is not only about proliferation, but also about Iran. Now, how the U.S. reacts to North Korea's actions will send a clear message to Iran, a nation that is believed to be developing nuclear weapons against the wishes of the international community. Kerry emphasized that the international community must make a strong, credible response to North Korea's latest nuclear test. A hard line with North Korea could potentially act as a deterrent for Iran to further pursue its own nuclear program. And last year, Iran and North Korea signed a deal to cooperate on a variety of scientific endeavors. Some analysts believe that one of these endeavors involved the development of nuclear weapons. Analysts believe that Iran is sharing its expertise on uranium enrichment in exchange for North Korea's missile technology. Japan's Kyodo News reported that Iranian scientists were present during North Korea's recent nuclear test, suggesting potential cooperation between the two nations. Now, unlike North Korea, Iran has denied developing nuclear weapons and says its nuclear program are only intended to produce electricity. Many analysts now worry that economic sanctions, one of the few tools available to the international community to curb the development of nuclear programs in North Korea and Iran, may be ineffective and maybe even counterproductive. Now, both the Iranian and the North Korean government likely see a successful nuclear program as critical to maintaining power. And it is likely that economic sanctions may hurt the poor in these nations rather than deter the government from further developing nuclear weapons. And now let's see what Weibo users are saying about nuclear programs around the world.
India, Israel, and Pakistan all have nuclear weapons, but no one is saying anything because these countries all have ties with the United States. But Iran and North Korea are a different story because the government of these countries do not listen to the United States. Under the values of freedom and equality preached by the West, shouldn't every nation have the right to develop nuclear weapons? When politicians want to start a war, they create an atmosphere where the public opinion is in favor of war. Even if they want to fight, they want to make it look like they were forced into such a position.
Now, when the nuclear tests went off in North Korea, most Chinese people were celebrating the Spring Festival, the biggest national holiday of the year, and a time when most people return to their hometowns to spend time with their families. Now, the nuclear tests sent shockwaves through the nation both physically and psychologically. Chinese people living near the China-North Korean border felt their beds shake and their plates clatter when the explosion went off. China, who fought on the side of the North Koreans during the Korean War, also condemned that nation for continuing to conduct nuclear tests against the warnings of the international community. And many Chinese netizens worried about radiation in the aftermath of the nuclear tests. Now, the Ministry of Environmental Protection tried to put people's fears at ease by checking for radiation around border areas. Citizens remained uneasy despite reports of normal levels. Now, if China chooses to intervene in North Korea, it has one very important bargaining chip at its disposal. China supplies the majority of the fuel used in North Korea. And if China were to stop its oil shipments to the country, chaos would likely ensue. Now, China's Weibo users also have some ideas of their own on how to deal with the North Korean affair. And here's what they had to say.
There really is no end to this conflict. The United States has long taken a hostile stance against North Korea. The U.S. has used a variety of tactics, including sanctions, containment, intimidation, to try to force North Korea to change its social system. These bullying tactics force North Korea to develop nuclear arms. But North Korea should not have spent its resources on developing nuclear weapons. They should have used it for economic development in order to continuously improve the lives of its citizens. North Korea is a powerful weapon to break U.S. hegemony. It is key to producing a multipolar world and maintaining a balance of power. A unipolar world results in injustice, exploitation, and oppression. Checks and balances in the global power system ensures more stability in the world.
If recent media reports are any indication, the latest nuclear test will not likely be the last for North Korea. The most recent test is the third in North Korean history. According to an anonymous source cited by major news outlets, a fourth and fifth tests are planned for later this year. And here on Microblog Buzz, we'll follow the development of the story and keep you updated on what Chinese net users think about the whole ordeal.